What is going on YouTube? And welcome back to JoJo Speaks after a week off due to the most recent hurricane, which did so much damage to the Southeast. I don't think anyone was prepared for the damage that it did.
Or didn't think it was coming.
Right. So our hearts go out to anyone who was affected by that hurricane. There was a whole lot of damage that went on. There were even trees that were down here in Columbia, South Carolina. I think my mother said 30 people passed away in South Carolina alone. So it's so unfortunate. So once again, our hearts go out to all of those affected by that hurricane that just came through this past week. But I'm sorry, last week. But anyways, a couple things I want you guys to do before we get started. First of all, I got to say hey to Jennifer. What's going on, Jennifer? Yeah.
Things are going. God is good, and yeah.
All right. So a couple things I want you guys to do before we get started. Be sure to press that big red subscribe button. It is free and easy to do. So go ahead and mash that thing. It takes less than a second to mash it. So go ahead and mash it. Also, we'd like to see some thumbs up for this video. Leave us a comment. Let us know your thoughts on the topics that we're discussing tonight. Also, be sure to share JoJo Speaks with all your family, friends, and loved ones. Let everybody know JoJo Speaks is out here in these YouTube streets. And also make sure to press the notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. Got to give out some condolences. First off, there are three that we lost most recently. First of all, the legendary Maggie Smith passed away at the age of 89. Many people know her from her many roles. Of course, she was in Sister Act, both 1 and 2. She was in Harry Potter, Downton Abbey. You know, she's a 2-time Academy Award winner. Legendary. So our condolences to her friends and family as they deal with her loss. Also, Dikembe Mutombo, Hall of Famer, NBA player. Unfortunately, he passed away at the age of 58. Say what?
Did you hear Tyrone laughing back here?
Yes, I do. I do. I'm sorry, Dikembe. Is it because of the pronunciation, Mutombo? I'm doing my best here, y'all. I am doing my
don't
best.
worry. It's not you. Tyrone's watching TV.
Okay. All right. But yes, unfortunately, Mr. Mutombo passed away at the age of 58 after losing his battle with cancer. And so our condolences out to his family.
I don't think of it as a loss. Just say that his battle of cancer has come to an end.
And you told me that before, so I have to remember that from now on to stop saying that. So yeah, thank you for that. And last but not least, John Amos, who famously played James Evans on Good Times. Unfortunately, he passed away as well. So our condolences to all of those.
Did you see when he went to glory?
I don't know when he actually went to glory, but
I want you to Google it, and I need to see the surprise in your face. I'll talk while you do so.
Oh, was it that was a while ago, wasn't it?
Yeah. And we just hearing about it now.
Wow. Yeah.
One of his daughters found out about his passing
with everyone else.
Yeah.
With everyone else.
You know, that just makes me want to say, no matter what's going on in the lives of the people that you love, the family, I'm sorry. At least say hi bye. You know what I'm saying? Say the important things, because leaving people out the loop is just like, even if you don't talk to them, stuff like that. Say something, man. That really surprised me. Daughter got that man's whole face and didn't know that he went to glory.
So sad, so sad. So I wanted to talk about a topic that actually came up 2 weeks ago, but unfortunately we weren't able to talk about it last week because we were not recording. Mr. Lieutenant Governor of North Carolina, Mark Robinson. Now, Robin actually brought up his name in our previous live, but I didn't get into the meat and potatoes of his whole situation. And so this man who has been endorsed by Donald Trump, he is currently running for governor of North Carolina. Now, he is the current lieutenant governor. And the weird thing about that is they have a Democratic governor, but they have a Republican lieutenant governor. So I need to look into that to see how it is that is possible. that the governor is Democrat and the lieutenant governor is Republican. But anyways, Donald Trump has been.
Isn't it based upon what they choose or what they was voted for?
Yeah, I'm assuming, but usually when you have someone running for governor, they have a running mate, at least in from what I know. But I may be wrong about that. I'm not sure, but
Oh, let
just
me
like a
pull up
president.
these notes real quick. Hold on.
Okay.
Robin says, Law that Mark Robinson, speaking of running, Donald is running as far away. Yeah.
Right. So Donald Trump has been hailing this man. Hey, Robin, by the way, I'm sorry I didn't say hey to you. Donald Trump has been hailing this man as the second, as Martin Luther King on steroids. He says that he's twice as good as Martin Luther King. He's been he's been singing his praises for a little while now. Mark Robinson also has made derogatory comments concerning the LGBTQIA plus community, more specifically the trans community. He's also spoken on the rights of of a woman, losing her child, whether it be voluntarily losing her child. And so he made one statement: "It's not my fault that you weren't smart enough to keep your skirt up or to keep your legs closed," something like that. He said some crazy stuff. And so a CNN report came out that he had made some comments over 10 years ago on a website, pornographic website by the name of, well, I don't have to say the name of it, but it was a website, and he made comments saying that he calls himself a black Nazi. He said that he used to spy on older women in the gym when he was 14, and he was aroused by that. Excuse me. He said that he likes to watch transsexual pornography, and he says that it really turns him on. And he says that he literally called himself a perv. So the fact that it took these things to come out, for not only Republicans but for others to come up against him, it took this long for you guys to say, hey, maybe this man should not be the one that y'all should be voting for to be y'all's new governor of North Carolina. Now, Mark Robinson has denied that these were his posts, although CNN did their homework and saw that his email was attached to this particular profile on this website. His full name was actually on this website. I believe even his address was listed on this website. And so it's something that he really can't. He can deny all he wants to, but the proof is in the pudding. He said that in an interview during one of his campaign stops, that he plans on taking legal action against CNN. But big entities like CNN, MSNBC, ABC, NBC, all of those big entities, they're not going to put out a story unless they actually have proof. Because because when they were reporting these things, they did not use the word allegedly, because they know it to be true. Jennifer, what were your thoughts when you saw this? Because me personally, I just rolled my eyes and I said, another Black Republican being put on blast. And it's so interesting to me that people are willing to support him, regardless of all of the foul things that he has said. What was your reaction when you heard about this news?
Well, so it's starting to seem like the more you see people talking so egregiously, the more people are hiding under their bed, or more sins that are in their closet. Um, what's it called? Nude Africa is the site that they were
Yes.
talking about. Um, Thank you, Robin, as per usual. But I just it's I'm a kind of person, I just am okay with letting the chips fall where they may.
Right.
And I'm curious to see how things are going to move forward. I'm curious to see what the opinions of the people will be. But who, for all we know, just because that former president has given him his, backing, no matter what, there's a lot of people that will still do what that man says. So, hey, Dustin is here tonight.
Hey, Dustin. Still praying for you.
Hi,
Still praying
Dustin.
for you, my love.
Lady Virgo, she says, hey, everyone, good evening.
Hey, Lady Virgo.
Okay, as we already know, Dustin is here. Oh, hey, Lady Virgo. Not Dustin, I mean Robin. Hey, Robin. Let's see. She said, hey, oh, Small Little Aaron D is here. Thank you so much for gracing us with your
Hey,
presence.
Aaron.
Hey, Aaron, we love you. Um, thank you for letting everybody know to like, share, and subscribe up in here. We really appreciate that. And thank you guys for being so vocal in the comments here at JoJo Speaks. Robin says, A Spoon Coon / HR is in the building and ready to chat. I wrote I wrote it like that. I hold my tongue, typing fingers. um, Robin says, hi, my good friend, smiling with Aaron D. Oh, look at all the love. Ooh, Miss Kim. Hey, Miss Kim.
Good evening, Miss Kim.
Peace
Greetings and
and blessings.
salutations.
Okay. She says, hey, J and J. And she also made sure to say hello to everybody else in the chat. So sweet. She says Dikembe was only 58 years old.
Yeah, he
So sad.
was.
Yeah, it is sad, but, thank God he's resting now. Small with Aaron D gave the praying hands. Robin says, and Dikembe led a life of service to his community, built a hospital in the Congo, among other things. Known well in Atlanta for always being a positive presence and influence. Thank you so much for the kind words for Mr. Dikembe. Um, Robin said, Lord, that Mark Robinson, speaking of, oh yeah, Donald is running away.
He is.
He just needs to stay strong and let this whole election thing come on, because I don't need them to try to put somebody else in there, try to do something. Anyway, Robin says in some states, the governor and lieutenant governor run on a ticket. In other states, they are separate.
Gotcha. Thank you so much for that, Robin. Because I know in South Carolina here, it's not like that. We have same parties in the governor and lieutenant governor position. So thank you for verifying that for us, Robin. I appreciate it.
She says in New York, our governor and lieutenant governor used to run separately. We changed that in the second or third Cuomo administration. Understood. Robin said Robinson is bluffing. He ain't suing nobody. Ain't no way he's
No,
suing them, because
no.
they're not going to say it with their whole chest if there wasn't any kind of proof, evidence that that's
Okay.
going on, because this show would have been laying that allegedly down heavily.
Heavily.
Miss Kim says Black Republicans never learned their lesson. They can't do white do what white Republicans do. White Republicans are backing away from him like he has a flesh-eating disease. Trump
Right.
is like, I don't know him.
I
And
don't know him.
and it's true, because I'm sure there's a lot of white Republicans that have those same kind of stories, just like we talked about here on JoJo Speaks. Um, Grinder shut down at the RNC. Okay.
Okay.
And we're gonna leave that right there. Robert says, howdy to Kim. Oh, Bianca is here. Hey, Bianca. She
Hey,
says,
Bianca.
happy Thursday, everyone. Everybody, excuse me. Make sure to hit that like button, everyone, as you come on in. Ms. Kim said hello to Bianca. Hope you're feeling better. Robin says Mario Cuomo, not Andrew. Okay, understood. Oh yeah, Mario. And Brittany says, happy Thursday, Miss Kim. I am feeling better. Thanks for checking in. That's marvelous.
Bianca.
And
You said Brittany.
thank you, Bianca. I said Brittany.
Yeah,
At
you
least
did.
it was a
I was about
B.
to say, Brittany's up in here? Brittany
At least
D.
at least it was a B. At least I didn't call her Tyrone.
Right.
Anyway, it could have been worse. Robin says Michael is on special assignment.
And I want to make this announcement. Michael did want to be here tonight. Unfortunately, he's having some issues due to the hurricane, I believe. So unfortunately, he won't be able to make it tonight. But hopefully, he'll be with us next week. But Michael he actually was going to be with us last week, but we decided not to record because of the hurricane. So it's just a matter of circumstance, you guys. So yeah, another story that came out last week that we were not able to talk about. And it pains me to talk about this, but it was a big topic. Janet Jackson was doing an interview, and the interviewer asked her, "Well, how do you feel about Kamala Harris possibly being the first Black woman president?" And Janet responded, "Well, she's not Black. I heard that her father was white." Um, and then one of her assistants or something of that sort, because her team is saying that this person was not with them, not involved with them whatsoever, but they came out and released an apology. Randy Jackson is currently Janet's manager, and I've been told that Randy Jackson is a Trump supporter, so I don't know where she might have gotten this information from. I will say, though, that it did not surprise me that she said this, because in my mind, Janet Jackson does not pay attention to anything that goes on in the news, anything that goes on in the media, any type of rumors, any type of politics. Hello, their whole family was Jehovah's Witnesses, so they don't do no type of politics whatsoever. So it did not surprise me that Janet Jackson does not know that Kamala Harris is half Black and half Indian. And she did say that, I heard that she was Indian. But it did not surprise me that Janet said this, that Jennifer, that Janet had this thought. It did surprise me that she said it out loud. Because I've never heard her really speak on politics necessarily.
Ever.
The Williams sisters, they're Jehovah's Witnesses as well. They never speak on politics. So, I was surprised to hear it, but I wasn't surprised that she wasn't knowledgeable about Kamala Harris. I don't think it's been too much backlash. Like, she's not being canceled out here, thank the Lord. It seems like she's been getting some grace. Jennifer, what were your thoughts when you first heard that this had happened?
I feel that true fans of Janet Jackson, as well as of at least people that have paid attention to Janet Jackson over the years, she is nobody's political commentator. Okay.
Right.
She never has been. The best conversation that she gives are about her music videos, her music, her experiences in the music industry, because those are the things that she has experienced. I have never heard about her answering anybody's political conversations, political questions, and things of that nature. So when I heard that she said that, I was like, oh. I knew this came from a space of ignorance, and I felt sorry that it came out her mouth, but it's like, so at some point, you do feel like free to talk, but we just got to know our strengths and weaknesses. And see, this is why I can respect Beyonce. She just cut all that out and just cut. I don't need to know no more. Okay, send me an email. We can email you back my answers. God bless you.
Oh, when you were talking about Janet having conversations, I was about to say the most conversation I ever heard out of Janet is her 20+ interludes on her various albums, child.
Okay, and was she talking about anybody's electorate?
Never.
Okay, that's all. That's all I'm trying to say. She ain't never been that girl, and I mean never. She hardly talk about her own relationships and stuff like that. What makes you think, or anybody? She don't even talk about other artists like that.
No,
she may talk about the random ones that she may like, because they like to ask questions like that, but. And that's not her. Robin says folks think that she allegedly feigned ignorance, something having to do with Michael. I think it's Randy the Trumper though. Child.
Those are my thoughts as well.
I don't believe they are invested one way or the other. Well, she ain't invested one way or the other, because if you're invested, you would have at least you would have watched at least something, a TikTok, a YouTube video, or something to find out about that woman.
Janet don't care.
Janet don't.
Period. Period. Okay.
Janet don't care.
Don't care. She got a child out here to raise. You know what I'm saying? She's still on tour. I think she's in Vegas right now with a Vegas residency.
She all over the place.
She got things to do, honey.
And she don't care. And it's never been her thing.
Never. It's never been her thing.
So yeah, God bless her and her decisions.
And going right along with the politics, Jennifer called me this past week asking me, "You gonna watch the debate? You gonna watch the debate?" Because I was definitely interested in.
Were you planning on watching? Oh yeah, you were planning on watching.
Yeah, I was definitely planning on watching.
I was making sure y'all watching that thing.
I was excited to watch this debate, y'all. I was disappointed. I really was. And
You
it
just
might
you
be
wanted there to be a fight.
I wanted there to be a kerfuffle in the mix. I wanted there to be a situation, honey. I wanted there to be some furniture moving, honey. Okay. I wanted it to be a scene, girl. Okay. And that is the total opposite of what I got. They were so nice to one another, agreeing with one another's viewpoints on certain things, and they were so cordial. They shook hands twice, introduced one another to each other's significant others, and they were just so kind and so loving towards one another. And it's not that that's the way that politics shouldn't be, but it's just I expected something else, something totally different, and that's not what we got. And I think that this was a smart move by JD Prince because we all know that Tim Walz was going to be what Tim Walz was, but I was expecting for JD Vance to be what he is typically out on rallies and out doing interviews and things of that nature. Mind you, he's the one that brought up the whole dogs and cats being eaten by Haitian immigrants in Ohio. So, and that didn't even come up during the debate. Surprisingly, I really expected for one of the moderators to ask him, what made you think that it was a smart idea to bring up this mess? But no, they stayed far away from it. And so I don't feel one way or another about it. I was just surprised at how cordial they were with one another and how nice they were to one another. I can't say that I was disappointed. I was just surprised. I was just okay. I was a little bit disappointed, but I was just surprised. I was just very surprised. Jennifer, were you surprised as well, or did you go in with no expectations?
I always go in with no expectation because when you try to compare the stuff to anybody else, especially when you have two different people going into the situation, you don't know what you're going to get. So I watched. I saw Vance's game. It looked like he was really just trying his best to be as level-headed
Mhm.
and nice as possible because of course Trump did the exact opposite. So you want to try to look like I am saying I I can work with people. I have thought processes too. They may be flip-floppy thought processes, but processes nonetheless. And I think he did the whole nice thing to draw in
Mhm.
walls. Um, I think he did an all right job. Um, but it's like the main issues that he never gave true answers on. He's like, with the women's choices and stuff like that. Well, I know somebody that regretted that choice and they're watching today. It's like, what does that have to do with everybody though?
Right, because that's just one out of millions, literally millions.
Exactly. So that was something else, and he really messed up with basically going along with Trump and saying what he wasn't allowed to say, which was about the January 6th and talking about the transference of power, how he said it was done peacefully, and it's like the collective eye roll across America.
Because Trump was not
My
even
God,
present to welcome Biden into the White
peaceful,
House. And that's
peaceful.
peaceful. Well, I guess it's more peaceful than, them having the fisticuffs, at the front door. But, I mean, I guess it depends on, what your perspective is of peaceful is.
I am. It was annoying, for me, for the most part, but you could still see that there was a lot of scrambling going on, trying to just throw some band-aids on things like, well, you know what? I agree with you there with women's rights, but each state should figure out how they're going to do it. And then it's like you going from state to state. Like I can go to this state to have this taken care of, but not this state, and try to figure out what laws is where. It's like,
It's so confusing. It's so confusing.
and then and Walsh made such a wonderful uh,
Rebuttal.
point about a woman having to drive to a different state and going to glory on her ride out. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Yeah.
Which is absolutely horrendous. Um, so yeah, all the things that were said, I do feel like Walsh did better or said the things that I wanted to hear
Mhm.
versus Vance. Um, I don't believe it's by as big of a margin as it was for Kamala, but um, a win in my opinions, nonetheless. And also, did you see Vance automatically went to the spin room?
No, I didn't see that. It doesn't surprise me though, because Trump did the same thing.
For Vance, it was planned. Trump, he just said, "Well, you know what? Let's go over there.
Yeah,
Try to try to help them spin because they don't know what they're doing."
right.
Um, so let me just get these comments. Lady Virgo, I guess she might have come back. She said hello to everybody in the chat. Good evening to you all. Miss Kim said hello to Lady Virgo, and Lady Virgo said, "Hey, hey, Bianca, I miss you, girl." Um, and Dustin says, "I hope." Come over here with me because our future is at risk. Absolutely.
Hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, Bianca said, "Happy Thursday to everyone." Lady Virgo says, "Miss Kim, I miss your model museum fancy photos." Look, we just wait for the queen. That's all. When she wants to grace us, she will do absolutely that. We'll be patient. Um, Miss Kim says, "I watched some of the debate. JD Vance is a better speaker. He is,
Very
but
much
the
so.
content of his words were all lies and fear mongering."
Hmm.
I really like the way you said that, Miss Kim. That's exactly correct. Lady Virgo says, "JoJo speaks." Jennifer, hey, hey, good evening to you all.
Hey, Lady
Good evening
Virgo.
to you. And Lady Virgo says, what does it say? Bianca, okay now, girl. Wait, hold on. Why is this comment? Did I miss a comment? Oh, Miss Bianca said, "Pardon my manners, y'all. I'm over here frying chicken." I may have to make a ride. It's just 20 to 30 minutes to get down there. Anyway, Lady Virgo says, "Bianca, okay, okay now, girl. We don't want you burning the fried chicken. Ain't no recovering burnt fried chicken." You have a point there. Go ahead, Jonathan.
So news has come out recently. Melania Trump, she's got a memoir that is coming out. And this particular memoir, she is supporting A rights, losing a child. I can't say the A word on YouTube, but losing a child rights
It's a way to say that.
for America. Um,
Women's choice, women's rights.
Women's choice, yes, women's rights. As far as pregnancy is concerned. And I found this to be a little shocking to me. I've never known Melania to really speak out of line or speak of anything that's the opposite of what her husband has taught or what her husband has spoken about. But she's standing strong in her defense of women around this nation who deserve the right to make their own choice as it relates to their body. And she even made a video concerning this as well, speaking out about women's rights and their bodies. And I think this is great that Melania Trump has stepped out. Now, I don't know if this is a ploy to try to sell more books because this is written in her book as well. So we don't know exactly the full content of her book. However, I will say that I was happy to hear that she's speaking up and giving her point of view to this extremely divisive issue that's going on in this world. I'm proud of Melania. We really haven't been seeing too much of her. She's never on the road with Donald Trump. We never see her out there with him at his rallies. I don't even know if she was at the Republican National Convention. I don't even remember seeing any photos of her there. So we don't know what's going on between Melania and Donald. To be honest, I really don't care. I just hope that she's safe. I just hope that she is safe. But Jennifer, had you heard that she is supporting women's rights in this way?
Yeah, I saw that video. There it could be, one of a few things. Maybe she, it really just sounds like she just wants to use the momentum and the moment to sell that book.
Right.
There's a big chance that the book has nothing to do with her husband.
Might be a couple lines,
and
maybe.
and there's a big chance that he may not have any of the proceeds from that book as well. Maybe she might be stacking up so she can make her run if you know what I'm saying, as long
Hmm.
as he doesn't make it to the White House again. But for her, I think I will have to go with what Robin said in this moment. She said, "Don't let the smooth taste fool you," and that's kind of how I feel. Yeah, I don't. Mm, God bless her. Whatever she want. Miss Kim says, "Change my pick, giving a little vintage Diane Carroll."
Yes. Come on, Dynasty. Yes. Work.
Bianca says, Lady Virgo, I know. Wait, hold on. She said, "I know that's right. Burning the fried chicken is not an option." Good times. Um, Bianca also says, "Doing fried chicken and homemade mashed potatoes and mac and cheese." All right now.
All right. I heard that.
It looks like I talked her up, Jonathan. Brittany
You
Davis is
did.
here.
Good evening, Brittany. Thank you so much for
Hello.
being here. I love you, girl. Thank you so much for joining us.
Miss Kim says Melania doesn't want to be bothered with that man.
Okay.
Lady Virgo says, "Oh, okay, no matter what, you're still a queen." Absolutely. Absolutely. Talking to Miss Kim. And Robin says, Melania can't do no right by me. She is a birther. Hmm. I typically describe her as a soft corn actress who got a fake genius visa, got married, and had an anchor baby. And bought her family here via chain migration. Also, she it's not just hers. I didn't know her family came over here based upon her and her connection.
I had no
Wow.
idea either.
Lady Virgo says Melania don't want that man. She ain't want him since his first term. I say since before that. And Bianca says hello to Brittany. All right. What is this? And TFG rails against immigrants. Yeah. Oh well.
And there that is. Anyways, so last week, um, and this topic is of course close to my heart. Boosie's daughter, Ivy, I believe that is her name,
Mm,
Ivy I. She came out speaking about her frustrations concerning Boosie's rhetoric concerning her sexuality. For those of you guys who don't know, Boosie's daughter Ivy is part of the LGBTQIA plus community. He speaks about her during interviews, saying that he doesn't want her influencing his other children, things of that nature. And she said during the video, "I'm not going to say that you're a bad father because you're not. You take care of your children, and I cannot take that away from you." And I respect her for keeping it real. I respect her for keeping it real. However, she also kept it real in saying, you have to I don't appreciate you treating me like a second class daughter. I don't appreciate you talking down on me in public, not only in public but to my brothers and sisters. Like, this has to stop. And I cannot imagine being in her position, having a father who is a famous rapper, who's got plenty of hits out here in these streets, and who is also influential to those who follow him and those who enjoy his music and enjoy his particular rhetoric. I applaud her. I applaud her bravery in coming out. She clearly is a grown woman. She clearly has no fears. She clearly is standing on her own 2 feet. So I applaud her for that. But I applaud her for being authentic enough to share her truth. Because I'm sure plenty of people are hearing, "Wow, Boosie's talking a lot about his daughter. I wonder what she has to say about it." So, I'm so glad that she came out and said she does not agree with the rhetoric that her father is spewing out time and time and time and time and time again. And my hope would always be that parents of children in the LGBTQIA plus community will, as Helen Baylor would say, look a little closer. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? Just if your love cannot change your mind or influence your thoughts concerning the LGBTQIA plus community, then absolutely nothing will. If your child being part of the LGBTQ plus community does not resolve your thoughts concerning the LGBTQIA plus community, all I can do is pray for you. Jennifer, what was your reaction to seeing this video?
um,
I really thought that after she came out, or it was bought out, because she didn't actually come out like that. It was really just put out there because I think it's, of course, because of her dad, her proximity to her father, and
Hmm.
all it's especially all that her father has been saying about the LGBTQIA community. Um, I really thought that he'd stop saying things like that out in the open, but to hear that he's still talking like that, she had to speak out. And she
She
is
did.
a beautiful, well adjusted, shouts out to her mother,
Hmm.
because you can see the raising was done
Yes, the
in,
right way.
in accordance of the right ways.
Hmm.
And she's a smart young woman, and really you can see that she is mentally and spiritually adjusted. I believe she's going to be all right. But I applaud her for saying what she needed to say out loud and out in the open, as her father has said so much about her out loud and out in the open. And she was talking about how her little brothers and sisters talk about, when you go crazy, they call me. They coming to me about the issues that they have with you. My brothers and sisters love me, but you telling my brothers and sisters, basically don't want me to be around, so I can't rub off on them.
Hmm. Yeah, it's terrible.
So I believe that it did kind of take somewhat of a toll on Boosie, because he did sound like he was like feeling the hurt that his daughter has felt, because there's a big chance that she never really gave it to
Hmm.
him like that, or even did it out in the open, because it just looks like she is an adjusted young woman, and she's not trying to hurt anybody, though there's been so much pain given to her.
Right.
So I just applaud her. I applaud her, and I pray that she'll get whatever that she needs, or become adjusted to just what is and what's in front of her. And I pray that she thrives, because
Agreed.
who wants that? Robin says TFG stands for the former guy. I figured. I used to think it was the that effing guy. um, and Robin says Van Lathan said the most compelling thing on his podcast. His father never fully accepted his sister's sexuality, and now he is gone. The sister will always live with him, not fully embracing her.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't have to agree with the sexuality of the person, the children, or anything like that, but just love the person. You don't have to be on the same page with whether or not he or she is doing what you think they need to be doing in their lives. They live in their lives. Just love that person. Lady Virgo says, um, Robin, you are definitely on point. Trump helped Melania and family get special visas to come over when they got married. So interesting, isn't it?
Hmm.
And Lady Virgo says, yes, agreed, Jennifer, 100%. Thank you. I hate it for her, but I'm happy she spoke up, though. I really am.
Me too. Me too. Today, a news story came out about a representative from New York by the name of Mike Lawler. A picture of him dressing up as Michael Jackson 20 years ago, in quote blackface. I'm not sure if you saw the picture, Jennifer. I did put
I
the
saw it.
picture. Okay, yeah. So it looked like he had a pretty good tan. It wasn't actually like blackface, but it was.
Jonathan, we're not going to do that. That's what we're not going to do. This man he didn't, you're thinking jet blackface,
Right, exactly.
but
But it was still
blackface,
blackface.
exactly.
Yeah,
Blackface
it was
includes
still blackface.
anybody trying to be African American, any other race that ain't yours, okay?
Right.
He absolutely had my shade makeup on his face. And
Yes.
you can see the line on his neck, him trying to be Michael Jackson. And anybody that thinks it's okay, it's a problem.
So he released the statement, the following statement. The costume was truly the sincerest form of flattery, a
Child.
genuine homage to, hey, a genuine homage to my musical hero since I was a little kid, trying to moonwalk through my mother's kitchen. Excuse me. The ugly practice of blackface was the furthest thing from my mind.
But you put a whole bunch
Let,
of okay,
Let me be clear, this is not that. I am a student of history, and for anyone who takes offense to the photo, I am sorry. All you can do is live and learn. Now, here's my thing. Was he wrong for doing it? Absolutely. No one should be doing blackface for any reason whatsoever. It's just not right. However, do I feel like he was deliberately putting on blackface to be derogatory towards the African American community? No, it's just a lack of knowledge concerning that, and I don't even know if it was a lack of knowledge because he might have known better and
child.
still decided to do it. So it is what it is. However, I do believe him when he says that he was just trying to pay homage. He just went about it the absolute wrong way altogether. When you're trying, if you want to be Diana Ross for Halloween, don't buy black makeup. Just buy yourself a big afro, a beautiful dress, and nice makeup, and maybe somebody will think that you are Diana Ross if you are not of African American descent. But I I I I, it's one of those things where you know what black do it. So you should not be doing it under any circumstances. If you want to be Michael Jackson, just buy yourself a red jacket, a good Jerry curl wig, honey, that's nice and wet, dripping, honey, and and some white gloves, high water pants, and one white glove, sparkly white glove. And people will know that you are Michael Jackson, but you don't have to go the extra mile to change your skin tone to try to mimic his skin tone because if you have the right outfit, people will be able to see that you are going for the Michael Jackson look. And I'll leave it there. I do not support blackface whatsoever. I am just saying that I believe him when he says that he was genuine in his paying homage to a great artist. Many people love Michael Jackson, but not everybody's doing blackface to try to imitate him. But I understand and appreciate his appreciation for Michael. However, at the end of the day, he was wrong for putting on blackface. Jennifer, what was your reaction to seeing this?
I hear what you're saying, Jonathan. I don't believe that some people that do this have malicious intent. I believe there's
Exactly.
a
That's
chance
exactly
that,
what I'm saying.
but I believe it speaks to a deeper issue, though.
Mm,
Who is teaching you? What happened
yeah.
in your life for you to get at this big age and make you feel like it's okay to do this? And it also tells you what the kind of communities you've grown up in.
Right.
It also tells you what kind of parents you have. What was okay in your family. So I don't believe it was, too malicious or whatever like that, but I also know that there's something missing. Okay, there's a
Yeah.
issue afoot.
Yeah.
Um Miss Kim says, I missed that story. What is there? This obsession with blackface. People want to be black, sis. It just is
Yeah.
what it is. Um, Miss Kim says he could have paid homage to his idol without the makeup.
Right. Like I
You,
said, red jacket, high waist,
everybody would
high
have
water
known it was Michael
pants.
Jackson.
Okay. High water
Uh,
pants, one sparkly glove. You got it. You got it.
Lady Virgo says very interesting because he is one of the most loyal Trumpers.
Mm, mm.
All right. Miss Kim says I can chalk this up to a very bad decision with no malice in intent. But see, being a Trumper, that kind of takes me a little bit over to the he just don't care. Lady Virgo says that part of Long Island he represents don't even mess with us black folks like that. Jonathan, I'm trying to tell you, there's no representation at all for us in that part of Long Island.
Yeah. Wow.
You just got to see if you feel okay with doing that. Tell me what else you feel okay with. They saying the N word right now, Jonathan.
Yeah, yeah. And mommy and I talked about this a little bit earlier while the story was going on TV.
Hmm.
She was confused about why, they do this type of thing, and it's still going on and people are still doing it. We don't see it because they're not taking pictures of it. They're not making videos of it. But I do believe it is happening behind closed doors, for whatever reason they want to do it. I do believe it's still going on behind closed doors. We're just not seeing it ourselves. And some people are smart enough not to photograph themselves actually in blackface. But I do believe that it
Hmm.
is still going on, maybe at a higher rate than we may even know or even want to know. Um, but again, you know what I'm saying? Blackface, just don't do it. Period.
But
Just
but you
don't
but
do it.
those people that do it. Those are the people that just simply don't care, and it just is what it is.
See, not caring and malice are two different things to me. Um, I feel as though this particular person did not was not thinking about it. I don't even know if he cared, but I just don't think it wasn't in his mind that this could come back to haunt me. It wasn't in his mind that he's being
Oh, that
disrespectful
wasn't
to
even
an
a
entire
consideration.
race. He
Absolutely.
didn't, and in that case, I guess you can say that he didn't care. But I personally don't believe he had any malice, or I hope that he did not have any malice. That's what I should
But
say. I hope that he didn't.
the thing that once again, the thing that I always think about on top of that, everybody else didn't care either.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah, that is true. Anyway, so last thing that I wanted to discuss, Jermaine Dupri came out, saying that a lack of youth in church, is impacting the quality of R&B
Sure, yeah.
music. I think that nothing could be further from the truth. Not nothing can be further from the truth. This is nothing but the truth. To be honest, to me, when we were growing up, everybody went to church back in the 90s and the 80s. Everybody was going to church, and there were excuse me. And so many of the R&B artists that came out back in the 80s and the 90s were always influenced, even in the 70s and 60s, way back in the day. All the only music that they knew was gospel music. And so
Come on.
having that inspiration yields much genius in their R&B endeavors, and yields great success in R&B. Think of Jodeci, think of Drew Hill, think of so many other artists that were out here. Only male artists are coming to my mind right now, but Monica, I don't know if Brandy was in church like that. But there were so many artists that were Destiny's Child, so many artists that came out when we were
And they were
growing
in
up.
church.
And they were in church, yes. There were so many artists that came out when we were growing up, that were inspired by the church, that were inspired by gospel music, and that gave that gospel edge to their R&B music and made it even more meaningful. And it was even easier to be able to connect with the sound and connect with the lyrics and connect with the voice and connect with everything that went along with the music that they were making. And so I think this was this. I think I've had this thought for a long time now, and so I'm publicly that this is the reason why we ain't seeing R&B out here like that. It's because, first of all, these kids aren't listening to the R&B that we grew up on. I'm not sure what these kids nowadays are listening to when they're coming up, but they clearly ain't listening to what we was listening to back in the day, with the exception of a couple people. I do get a 90s vibe from SZA, mainly, a little bit of a 90s vibe from Summer Walker as well. I love that girl. But other than
Mhm.
that, with those exceptions, you're not really getting the soul, of R&B that we used to have, and that's just very disappointing. And it also disappoints me to think that we may never get back to that point, at least not in our lifetime. Jennifer, I'm sure you clearly agree with this sentiment.
I do. Because think about it, like as if you go back further and further, like Aretha Franklin, daughter of a preacher,
Mhm.
thinking of like, people like Jodeci. They sing like a choir because they were at a choir. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, stacking vocals. Okay.
Okay, like they sound amazing because these are the things that you bought up on.
Mhm,
And, all up and down the East Coast. And of course, all around America, but especially up and down the East Coast, we were connected to great singing. And the one thing about singing in the church, the reason why it was such a thing, because unfortunately, but it's true, the church is performative.
mhm.
And you can't come up in the church half stepping, okay? If you're going to be singing and singing in the church, you better be coming full bodied. Okay, get your
Okay.
runs together, get your belting
Right.
together, get your
Okay.
high notes together, get your low notes together, get
Yes.
your riffing together, get
Okay.
all of that prepared and ready to go. Because, they ain't gonna be mean to you, but you ain't gonna get back up there again. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Okay. You
There
won't be
was a
touching the
standard.
microphone again, honey. Okay.
Yeah, and there's a standard and there's a level of singing that you had to live up to, and people were hearing the best in the church
Yes.
and doing the same thing in the church as well. So it's like you're getting singing lessons, just ways to build who you are as a singer in and through the church, having a platform. You don't have to go to karaoke to have a microphone in your hand. You had the church. If you
Mhm.
wanted to if you could just string along some melodies, some notes, get a little run in there and have a little feeling and truly perform, because let's be real, it's mostly a performance. If you ain't no true worshiper, it is a performance. So he's right. Every bit of that is correct. And you know who said it before that was Brian Cox, which is his homie.
Oh, Brian Michael Cox? Yes,
Hmm.
absolutely.
He's
Absolutely.
the first one that said that out loud.
Very underrated producer in my I don't know. I wouldn't say that he's underrated because he's
Oh
worked with
no,
so many people. Yeah, people know
he's
about him,
out
but
there and about.
yes.
But it just is what it is. And that's why I don't believe that R&B is going to sound like it used to ever again,
I don't think it will. I really don't.
unless we we teach our children about some really good singing and stuff like that. Because how can you aspire to be amazing and sing like that if you
Right.
don't hear anything like that? So yeah.
And that's why I always say we grew up in the perfect time. The
It's a
absolute
wonderful time.
perfect time for music. Like the 90s was just when I say everything, it was everything.
Early
Like
2000s.
you yes, absolutely. Music nowadays can't hold a candle, can't even hold a match, okay,
Mm-mm.
to what they were doing in the 90s so consistently and successfully. R&B songs were hitting number 1 on the top 1 pop 1 and on the Hot 100 charts.
And
R&B songs.
it wasn't just like one artist doing that. You would
No.
have all these groups, all these, taking turns at the number one spot. It was a
Yes.
lot. It felt like it was room for
For
more
everyone.
talent, you
Yes.
know? And it, child, that's another thing I want to see. I just want to hear more harmonies and groups. That's the only thing I can't stand about K-pop. Though it's so infectious and
Yes.
bubbly and out there, you have 17 people on this K-pop group,
17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 people in your group.
but you don't have not one chord, not one harmony, not one thing going on. Y'all just taking turns singing every other song. That's
And the chorus is
crazy
all
to
in
me.
is all in unison. I don't I
All
can't. I can't.
how
You
you have so many people and ain't no chords, and it's like I've actually heard some old K-pop and J-pop and stuff like that. They were sounding like niggas, Jonathan.
why well, we all know. Well, we may not all know, but I know that we know that them Asians over there, they be singing down.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, some J-pop, their R&B sounds like our R&B, Jonathan.
Mm,
That Japanese pop and stuff. Excuse me. Yeah, J-pop. They call it JR&B because it was R&B for sure
mm.
through and through. Um, but I want to hear more chords. You know, that's what we like, Jonathan. That's the butter. I
That
need to hear the harmonies.
yes, the butter with an H at the end. That's my favorite thing about listening to not only male but also female groups is listening to the harmonies. The harmonies is just the most beautiful sound to my ear to hear a harmony, and that's
Um,
what just gets me so excited. And it is what it is.
and Bianca said, did y'all see that SWV said Rain was written for Brandy, but she turned it down and they got it. Brandy would have tore it up. It would have been nice. But
Mhm.
you can't be SWV either though. And today I heard right here, that human nature thing
Yes,
with Michael Jackson, and just to hear the harmonies in that song, it's just like butter. It gives you a hug. I don't know why people don't want to hear nobody's harmonies no more. I don't get it. It's like,
it's
and that's why
terrible.
it's and that, Jonathan, is why it's still so easy for me to listen to Beyonce, because she gives me all of that and more.
Yes,
I need to hear the extra. Miss Kim says, I don't think R&B sound is what the music industry is really looking for. Of course not.
it's not because it
Um,
doesn't sell to them. To them, it doesn't sell.
Exactly. Now there certainly are some R&B people out there in these streets. There are a couple of R&B groups, actually, Jonathan, like girl groups and stuff, that are
Hmm.
actually out there doing what we're talking about. But excuse me, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, they're not pushed like we need for them to be. So, oh well. Lady Virgo says, remember when Kanye West and Justin Bieber started their outside church services and got young people into the church again? You know, I don't have a whole lot of strong opinion on that, and I'll tell you why. I truly felt like a moment was just used. Um, they found a really great choir and a really great
Oh, amazing choir.
the best choir on this earth, and
Okay.
they found it just as amazing, if not more amazing, or choir director to
Yes.
put these spins on these songs and really create some real magic. Now, I am a young lady that goes off of intent. What was your intention here? Was it your intention to get a number one gospel album? Was it your intention to get some Grammys off of this choir, this moment? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I I'm not saying that he's a vulture of a moment. I'm just saying, like, am I saying that, Jonathan? I think I'm saying that.
You are saying that, but
I'm saying
hey,
it.
that's your opinion because of who he is, and what he represents. It's very hard to believe that his intentions were genuinely good.
Now, I want to say, at the very least, I do believe he believed what he was saying.
Absolutely,
All of
absolutely.
that. I do believe it. But I mean, it was a cute moment, and especially during the COVID time, just be outside and doing stuff, really nice stuff like that. I think it's nice. But wow. It didn't get people in church. It just got people into singing church songs and putting them into R&B beats.
Hmm.
Bianca says, "Oh, this is the cash app for Jonathan. Is $ Jonathan Lee 07. Won't you give to him? He's the host." Miss Kim says, "Lady Virgo, was there any preaching going on or just music? Ye's gospel album was good." I agree. There's a lot of great things going on over there. As far as the gospel actually going out, I didn't see it. That's a great way for me to say it. I didn't see it. Lady Virgo says, Bianca, yeah, I saw that. I said the same thing. She would have blown that song away. Oh, Brandy doing
Brandy
right.
doing rain. Yeah,
Please remember to hit that like button, y'all. Thank you for the reminder. Uh, Bianca says, yes, Lady Virgo.
I really
Later.
could see Brandy singing that song though. Like
Oh,
it would be
absolutely.
perfect for her voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Lady Virgo. How old was she at that time, though?
At that time, I don't think she came out until 94, and I think SWV came out in 92. So she might have been able to sing it later on, but I think she came out like maybe 2 or 3 years after SWV did.
I think when it comes to those kind of songs, I start to look at age. It's like, is it
Yes, she probably would have
appropriate
been.
for her? her.
She probably would have been like 16 or 17 singing that.
Yeah, that's why she was singing "Baby, Baby, Baby." Okay, come on.
Okay, I want to be down.
Yes.
Ow, best friend.
I think
All that.
yes, we were
Oh,
too deep
sitting
for
up in
her.
my room. Oh my, I think that's my favorite Brandy
That
song.
is my
Sitting
favorite
up in my,
song. I would
oh
look at
God.
that music video every time it came on.
Okay, with that beautiful purple makeup she had on it, like
Yes. And that bass in
yes,
that song, and
a
it
baby
was such
face
a chill
classic,
song.
like
I really
written
love that
just for
song.
Brandy.
Absolutely. Lady Virgo says, Miss Kim, I only remember Kanye was preaching the sermons. Oh, really? Leave that there. Um, Robin says Halle Berry's man put out a statement. It's over. She was just on CBS Mornings talking about how happy and in love she is. Uh,
And then she just have his baby. Well, not just had his baby, but
but she had a child. I don't know, but God bless her because I think it's just wonderful that she still believes in love. God bless
yeah,
her.
absolutely.
Um, but ever since that whole thing happened with Eric Benet and with the other things, I was like, I'm not saying there's something wrong with her. I believe there's something flawed with her
I think
choices.
she was talking about Halle Bailey.
Oh,
She was talking about Halle
Robin
Bailey.
just said, "Oops, wrong, Hallie." It was the young one, Halle Bailey.
Yeah,
DDG put out a statement. Yeah, I don't know. It for me, I knew it would happen eventually because that's just something that I feel with young love.
yeah,
The first person you truly fall for and all that stuff sometimes may not be your forever love, and that's okay. So yeah, I saw that coming. Excuse me, Lady Virgo says, Robin, oh no, please say it ain't so. I thought it was I thought he was a keeper for her. I don't believe he was that bad of a dude, you know what I'm saying? And he's a good father too, because I sit
hmm
there and watch him and Halo all the time. They're hilarious. um but as far as a relationship, I knew that that relationship would eventually run its course. I don't believe it's malicious against them. I mean, between them two, but yeah, God bless her.
yeah. And before we go, I just wanted to make this announcement because I know it was a hot topic this past week. New York City Mayor Eric Adams has pled not guilty to taking bribes and illegal campaign contributions. He's facing federal charges.
Oh
Federal
no.
charges. So I don't know if they're true. I don't know if they're not true. But when the Fed's coming for you, typically they got their ish together.
Typically.
Typically they have
Mm,
their ish together. Jennifer, go ahead and give your social media contacts for us really quick.
no. Miss Kim says, new DDG and Halle wouldn't last. I know. Halle has been in a relationship. Excuse me, Halle Berry has been in a relationship with Van Hunt for a few years. I pray they're doing well. Look at God.
Hmm.
Um, Robert says, I believe that he's guilty as sin and guilty as charged.
Hmm. I knew that Robin was going to have something to say about that story, and I really only read that to see what Robin's reaction would be
Ah!
to it.
Okay.
And mission accomplished, honey. Okay.
Okay. Ciao. Anyway, as far as the stuff for me, my name is Delata the Leo. You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok, mostly TikTok because that's where I bees at. Don't tell nobody all day. And I have a channel on YouTube. It's Delata the Leo, and you can go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And once again, that's on YouTube at the Light of the Leo. We go live every single Monday at 9 p.m. And also, don't forget to visit us every Saturday at 10 a.m. Yeah, that's right, at 10 a.m. Um, at Faithful Warrior Ministries. We come together and pray and enjoy each other's company for a while. So come and join us for that. And go ahead, Jonathan.
All right, you guys can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is JoJo_speaks3020. My Facebook is Jonathan Lee. My email is williamjonathanlee@gmail.com. My Cash App is $Jonathan Lee07. That's Jonathan $JohnathanLee07. Thank you all so much once again for all the birthday wishes this past Monday. I really, 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 really appreciate all the birthday love. Thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you join us next week, same time, same place, same beautiful faces. But until then, we'll say bye for now, y'all. Hope y'all have a wonderful weekend and stay safe out there. Bye, y'all.
Bye. Be blessed. We love y'all.
Love you.